interview with none other than Evan Whitman, an expert on all things chemical, dangerous, and you know those fluids that burn you. Yeah. Now let's get started. So, Evan, tell us what you know about chemicals, and let's take gasoline, for example. I think that's a chemical. What's the procedure? How do you deal with this dangerous material?
See, Mr. Lilford, chemicals are a lot like a toxic relationship. If it's not dealt with properly and soon enough, then you're putting yourself and everyone else at risk. Now, you gotta consider a lot of variables when you're dealing with toxic materials. Is there a river nearby, let's say some body of water? You don't want to have it so that, here's the thing for this chick. You don't want to have it so that toxic materials getting in the water supply could be affecting farm animals. Another thing is you gotta know who to contact. You should contact your local city, or if you live in a small community, then the municipality. And I'm sure our warden, Timothy Habinski, would love to look after all our problems.
It's very interesting. Now, let's choose this example. What this is.
Blue Gatorade?
It could be, I'm not really sure. I bought it at NAPA, I think that's like a Philadelphia company, because the PA thing. Anyway, it says on it, it's Toot Saisons. Do you know what Toot Saisons is?
Excuse the interruption. Would the grade 6 leaders please report to the academic stairs? Grade 6 leaders, thank you.
When you go home in a public school.
Back to studio time, there's not much stupid, yeah, I'll talk to her about that. Anyway, that was actually French, never mind. This says all season windshield washer fluid, and it works up till negative 40 degrees Celsius, which is about good enough for most Canadian winters. Now, tell us about this stuff, and what do you do with it?
Well,
how does it work, and how do you deal with it?
It's really toxic. You're only going to want to use it on your car.
Yeah, I can see that. It's got like that poison symbol right there.
It's
looks
also
like it's also flammable.
highly flammable.
What's it doing in a car then?
Well, that's a good question. There's nothing else we can really use unless you want to put sandpaper on your windshield wipers, so this is the safest option, but still, I'm not a fan of it. I think we should all maybe go back to old methods of having horse and carriage or dog sled so we don't have to deal with these toxic materials.
Let's say somebody was filling their car up with this stuff and they had it spilled all over them, like accidentally, or some kid just ran up and pushed it on them. What would they do with it?
You'd have to take all your clothes off immediately and jump into the nearest body of water or a shower.
Okay.
Then you want to go to the hospital and make sure you don't have chemical burns.
Wow.
Now, gasoline, for example, our guy Reggie here, he's going to play us a clip of improper use of putting gas in a hot whippersnipper engine.
This sounds fun. Let's cut to that. Cut. Yeah, you might want to drop it.
Proper use of equipment. You can crop me out, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I think that's enough film.
Whoa, that was really stupid. Like, I can't believe the morons who film that. Some people are just really dumb, you know that? Like, really stupid.
I blame
So,
it on millennials,
Mr. Whitman, what did they do wrong?
Well, you see, Mr. Lilford, the problem here is that they did not wait adequate time to put more gasoline inside their engine. The spark plug's still really hot, and so is the fuel lines and everything. And if you pour a little bit of gas right after operating, you're gonna start a fire. Think about what that's done to the environment. Those trees are gonna die, man.
Yeah, we can't let the trees die. That's just bad. You know what happens when the trees dies? We die. Trees are connected, you know?
Exactly.
It's
Now,
connected stuff.
in my opinion, well, the professional way that you should have done this, so you won't have accidents like this occur. When you're dealing with toxic stuff like this, you always should read the label. Regardless, always read the label.
And there are forms for that, like Wimmis things and hazard.
Go take a course at your community hall, go take the course at the hospital, wherever's having it. You need to get this stuff done.
Well, this is all very important information.
Properly.
I have with me another chemical, which is not another chemical at all. It's actually the same thing, so never mind.
Blue Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade.
But
It's not blue Gatorade.
You see, the proper way they should have done that is they should have waited 5 minutes for their engine to cool, then put the gas in.
Ah, I see. Now, after this horrible explosion, we didn't really get to see the aftermath of the damage. We don't know if they died or if they're just mortally wounded or if they're completely fine. But like, after something like this happens, what would you do to deal with the situation? And what is the proper way to do it? Health risks and all.
Well, if there's gasoline or oil on the surface, you're gonna get oil absorbent pads. That will absorb the chemical. However, if it's sunk into the ground already, you need to clear the area off for the next couple weeks so it can pass through.
Wow.
And then you're gonna want to plant some more trees and put some seeds down.
This sounds like, I know people spill gasoline all the time, and it's not a very well-known fact that you actually have to leave the areas. Like, is this true?
Yeah,
Really?
very true.
Wow, so we're screwing over the world and we don't even know it.
Yeah,
Just because we can't be bothered to watch a simple news broadcast telling us what's wrong with it.
precisely.
I know. We're doing good things here.
We are, and I hope that all our viewers, the 14, 15 kids who are going to be watching this PSA, are going to get to know the dangers of stuff like this.
Yes, yeah. So very important, all those WMIS forms and hazard labels. You must know what they are. You must get an education. Educate yourselves, people. You need it.
Start a union.
No, don't start a union. Those are bad. We don't like unions in the United States. Okay, and I have some questions here from some fans. You have quite a following. I understand you have a YouTube channel of your own, actually, where you do similar stuff, only, you know, you do it properly.
Do it pretty safely.
Yeah.
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses, yeah, those protective clothing. You must wear the proper stuff.
Precisely.
Protect yourself.
Oh, is that Deborah with the coffee?
I think it might be. You're wasting our studio time, whoever she is. We are back again with a fresh new cup of coffee made by Deborah.
Thank
Means
you,
I don't
Deborah.
trust it. I don't really want to drink it. Do you? I mean, I serve this coffee to everybody, but, you know.
I mean, there's some white things floating around in it.
Okay.
So.
Now, Mr. Whitman, we are now have some fan questions which are being texted in at this moment on Kick, the latest in social media.
Kick.
You don't use Kick anymore.
No.
Okay. Here we are back again with Mr. Whitman. This
Hello.
is Saturday Night Live on Fox News. Breaking news.
Where's Pete Davidson when you need him?
I don't know, he's kind of useless, isn't he? I don't like him much, you know.
Ariana didn't want him.
Yeah. Are you a Republican, Mr. Whitman? The antifreeze right
Thanks,
in.
Deborah.
As I said, they're being texted in at this moment. Now, some fans, you're quite a following, by the way. There's like over 3 messages already.
It is what it is.
I know. It's marvelous. I mean, I don't get 3 messages in a day.
It's
absolutely
absolutely marvelous, darling. Absolutely marvelous.
Okay. Anyway, one question is asking you in regards to your antifreeze. They say that they tried it and they poured it all over the skin and waited 24 hours, and it didn't do anything. But then their friend accidentally consumed some, and then he had to be rushed to hospital because he almost died. Can you go further on this?
Well, you see right here, this poison logo right here. This is not blue Gatorade, sadly our friend found out. As well, it's not really, unless it has antifreeze in it, it's not going to burn your skin. Still, it's not recommended because if you have open cuts, this is going to absorb into your bloodstream. It's also highly flammable. If Buddy had a cigarette right after pouring that all over himself, he would have been gone.
Well, so there's like a high alcohol or petroleum extract content in this, then.
I couldn't tell you the ingredients right off the top of my head, but I can tell you, you don't want to play around with this stuff. This stuff, it takes lives, and that's not right.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. I think we can agree on this that like killing people with antifreeze is a bad idea.
It's worse than napalm, man.
Napalm was bad. I voted for the government that introduced that stuff.
Antifreeze.
I'm not ashamed.
You don't mess with antifreeze.
Anyway, next fan question. Aside from Mr. Bush, Mr. Nixon, and Mr. Reagan, the Honorable President, whatever.
What about Trump?
He's not a real Republican, and I think we all know that.
Well, Mr. Obama.
Don't talk to me about Obama. I don't like success stories. Anyway, next question by a fan. They are asking you, they are currently dealing with something that has acetaminophen glucophosphate with carcinogenic material in it.
Did they
And-
ingest it?
No, they're not ingesting it. They're just working with it at the moment on their car, actually, cleaning out the engine parts and retuning the radio with this fluid. And they want to know how they should properly. Sorry, it's just morons off in the studio. How should they properly deal with this and use this material so as not to hurt themselves or others or their car when it starts up again?
Wear gloves. That's a must. Wear eye protection. Wear a face mask. You don't want to be breathing in the fumes of this stuff. Because once it gets to your lungs, you don't know what could be made up. Some people, like 40 years ago, back when paint was mostly lead-based, they'd inhale the fumes.
Oh no.
And they'd get lead poisoning.
Oh.
Now, if you were to drink something like this, your best bet's just drink a lot of water. You gotta dilute the combination.
Okay. And your your last of all three of these messages that have come in on this very popular news channel, Channel 5, Fox News,
With Steve Rogers.
with Steve Rogers and ScarJo. Not bad. Yeah, not bad. Anyway, last of these three questions, I can't quite make it out because it's in Arabic, so I'll just think of one. So I'm just going to think of a question. Now, back in when I was a teenager, I worked at a little place called McDonald's. It's
Oh,
like a
God.
small mom and pop family chain restaurant thing. And I cleaned stuff in the kitchen. And they gave me this like big old bottle of stuff that had like skull and crossbone thingies and flammable and the thing with like the acid burning the hand thing. And I asked what those meant, and they said they were just like pictures to show you it was an important cleaning material. And I asked if I needed anything important like gloves or coats or safety glasses to use this material, and they said no. So I just cleaned the floor with it and everything else, and the burger tray. Yeah. Anyway, so I realized now that this was probably the wrong thing to do, and that I should have probably brought this to my employer's attention that he was being a moron, But what's the right way to deal with this thing? What should you do in this situation where your employer is forcing you to use these dangerous chemicals without protective equipment?
In a case like that, you have the right to refuse to do work. You don't have to do anything if you don't feel comfortable doing it. You also have the right to a union, and you have the right to leave.
I think McDonald's doesn't have a union. Because, that's not the way it works.
Well, you're working at a mums and pop spot. It was also different times back then. People didn't know better.
Yes.
That's why everyone has.
Information's been hidden from us.
That's why everyone has cancer from the 70s and is dead.
That's quite a general assumption about the 70s. 70s were a great time. Thank you, Mr. Whitman, for coming on our show, Channel 5 Fox News.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Loafer.
Yeah, it's
I also
been an
want to
honor.
say, Fine Napo all-season windshield washer fluid is our sponsor today and made this show possible.
Yes, it did.
I'll
Without
see you
it, we
later.
had no money.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. It's been an honor and a privilege. Yeah, let's do one of those bro hugs. Bring it in.
Wasn't really professional, but see you later, bro.
Yeah, see you, mate.
Thank you, Mr. Wilford Brighton and Mr. Whitman. Now here's David with the weather.
Say what?
I need coffee.